so plain and precious. Finally, the Book of Mormon is the keystone of testimony. Just as the arch crumbles if the keystone is removed, so does all the church stand or fall with the truthfulness of the Book of Mormon. The enemies of the church understand this clearly.
This is not the Church of Latter-day Saints of Joseph Smith. This is the Church of Jesus Christ.
Travis Wayne Goodsell. So, having neglected Jasmine for too long, I'm feeling guilty, and I was inspired to do a new playlist about Jasmine asks a question about Mormonism. Something like that. To focus all my attention on her. So Jasmine, if you can do a video in which you provide the picture you would like me to use for the thumbnail on my videos of this playlist, or well, it's too small, but it, like your bikini pic, or your current one, or the previous one that you originally had when I found you. Just let me know. Provide me with the picture. And so let's find out where I left off. I see the C.S. Lua. I had gone and made another comment on somebody else's comment on that same video, Ignorant About Mormon Critics. He does LOL, or it's in response to a guy who said their stone fell out 200 years ago. And so that was approved by me because it was appropriate. You got to know your Daniel in the manner in which he's using it. He's saying 200 years ago. But, and so for C.S. Luau, however it's pronounced, he, again, as a Mormon who I'm expecting his baptismal date is this Saturday, and it's clear that it's confirmed he doesn't know his scriptures. He doesn't know what that refers to. All Mormons do, because that's a staple in Mormonism. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints claims they are the stone cut from the mountain, rolling down the hill and destroying all governments of the world. So yeah, he's never heard that before because he isn't a Mormon. He's a convert on Saturday. He's not studying the scriptures. He's getting a spiritual witness feeling like the missionaries told him to. Which stone would that be? Daniel, dumbass. The judge god. Alright. There's another one. Dear God. For a guy who's not going to watch my videos anymore. Here we go. Here's where I left off, Jasmine. It's all about you. This was 2 days ago. Woman investigates LDS church by study. Refuses to read, ponder, and pray. And feel. Truth will set you free. The woman studying her scriptures in the pink outfit. I love pink. Pink is the new black. All intelligent women wear pink. That was the thumbnail picture on the other video I did. Yeah. Smart women wear pink. Testimonials of feelings, and there I put your little scripture that you asked a question on, Jeremiah chapter 10. Did you notice that, Jasmine? You know? See, normal videos, I get inspiration, I put them on a little post-it note, which are now pink. I've run out of the other colors, so now I have to dive into the pink supply. And when I get around to them, I do the video. And of course it involves scriptures, and it involves philosophy of Mormonism and history of Mormonism, etc., etc., etc. And Mormons deny and claim that it's false. God. But, yeah, to have somebody ask a question is a different approach. And so it is good. And Jasmine and I are on a first name basis now. She used to say, hello, Mr. Goodsoul. Now she says, hello, Travis. Busy DJ weekend, but I'm back. Yeah, you posted a lot of videos. Some of which you got to be signed in to watch. I don't know why. It's YouTube. And so, yeah, I do appreciate the Nancy Drew one, and the redheads. I like that one too. Your reference to your shoes, A.D.I.D.A.S. and your feet. That is what that was about. Big feet means a guy. Oh, right. I was going to mix this with Mark's. Finally release Mark's comment on this. Big feet means that a guy has big feet. That address is the address of the church in Lexington. So I went and deleted it for nothing. Thought I was protecting you. Where our landlord's roommate got baptized. So why didn't it come up as the address for the church then? That's Google. I was glad I wasn't wearing makeup that day. You had me crying from laughter. You'd have to watch the video because I talk about makeup. His name was Fisk. Huh. I know Fisks. The president that they brought, he was the mission president. Oh, the missionaries did confess, and it escalated all the way to the mission president. Awesome. And so for those of you who have not been following this, James and Jasmine are an interracial couple who the missionaries found them knocking on the doors and had been given mission discussions with them. And then they found my channel and they were watching some of my videos and realized, oh, well, the missionaries didn't tell us this. And so they're actually studying their scriptures. Huh. The number one cause of apostasy is scripture study. How do you think Lutheranism got started? Martin Luther, he studied his scriptures. And so they've been making comments, and I've been replying and answering questions and sharing my experiences as being a born and raised in the Covenant Mormon who studied his scriptures. And so I haven't apostatized from Joseph Smith or the Book of Mormon in the learning of the Jews. And so, yeah, the missionaries, as they tell the story, came over and talked about James having been a fence sitter in the premortal council of heaven. These are little jailbait kids who don't even know Mormonism, but they know what was passed down to them from their parents. It's like learning a new language, and the first thing that our French class students asked, what are some swear words? And so the French teacher, who was it Mr. French, or was that the female, was Mrs.? No, it's Mr. French. Yeah, I had Mr. French. I didn't have the other woman who teaches French. My brother then went on to take her class. But it might have been for Spanish. I think she knew both French and Spanish. But, yeah, he blushed and tried to come up with some stuff. He didn't actually give us any. As the French would say, he held back from us. And so there are a few things that he recommended for us, but if you knew French, and so, dear God. Alrighty. Believe it or not, he has heard of me. President Fisk, the mission president, not the ward mission president, not the stake mission president, but the mission president of Kentucky, Fisk. And he would be about my age. I wonder if he was in the New York mission. Ask him. Because that's the most likely case of where I would know him from. And he would tell you stories of rumors about me. Travis was a slacker and a troublemaker. Couldn't baptize anybody while the rest of us were baptizing 200 every month. Each couple in the missionary, each companionship, 200 a month, but not Travis. He's a slacker. But he then went on to tell them, he said, YouTube videos aren't good investigating. Oops. See, this is the national problem, is that there was a big push by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints to stay off of social media. And Nelson threw in the press. I watch YouTube for what I want to watch. And because of my learning, experience, publications, degrees, etc., I know when somebody's pulling a con on me versus something legitimate. I was once asked, which do I watch any rabbi channels? And they had recommended some that they had watched, and I said, well, I've found this person, and it was somebody they'd never even heard of. He teaches at a university and is a rabbi, and I was searching for what he had on the Jewish understanding of the latter days and the latter day Christ of the Jews. And that's why I can say that rabbis don't know more than I do. I know more than any rabbi. And it's not just because that's my name. Travis, the IS is the Latin grammatical termination. So you cut that off for the masculine singular ending. So you're left with TRV. Remove the vowels. The T, crossroads, thus the latter days. The R is the God symbol, but also for the spelling in rabbi. Master. As in Jesus is referred to as Rabboni, the Lord. And the V in Hebrew is the B. So it's trab. Rab. The T, which is a cross in Paleo-Hebrew, is a prefix determinative. And so it's rabbi of the cross. What is the cross? Well, Jeremiah chapter 10 tells you. It's signs in Paleo-Hebrew, which is the latter days dates. The dates for the latter days. Thus, the latter day rabbi. That's my name. Not just he who is from the crossroads, which is the Latin for it. As the T comes from the Paleo-Hebrew crossroads. And so don't find out what God's soul means. You might find out who I am. Right, Russell Marion, baby name meaning? And it's right there for Mormons, and I'm sure that Mormons, when they are expecting a baby, they're looking through baby name meaning books, aren't you? Or are you just going by your read, ponder, pray, get a spiritual witness feeling of the name? I don't know. So I know Stephanie chose Clayton, I think because of a family name. I don't know. Maybe she was just purposely not wanting my name Stephen for him. So as a priesthood holder, I got the last word in from the baby blessing. He tells me his name's not Stephen. And sure enough, who was right, who was wrong? I was right. He was persecuted like Stephen was. And ended up being by his mother, who threw stones at him. God. But Melissa, yeah, that was her grandmother's name. And so, yeah. And then Emma, I don't know. I wasn't there for Emma. She took her away. But an institute instructor said, oh, it was her in tune with the Spirit to name her after Joseph Smith's wife. Whatever. Whatever. So, I know exactly what to look for. I found, finally, a Jewish news on YouTube. I use only the legitimate news, except for this war is revealing that they're not as legitimate as I was hoping they would be. Because they're all betraying the Jews, refusing to understand the history of the people and the region. They only go back to after World War II, when the Jews came in and occupied the land. God. Nobody wants to go back to the origin, because it means Islam is a fraud. Christianity, fraud. So nobody wants to do it because they don't want to admit that their religion is wrong. Anyway, where were we? Yeah, he said YouTube videos aren't good investigating. Well, again, you need to know your sources. And as I have told Jasmine before, the other critics do not know the learning of the Jews. So they're wrong too. You know, great. They know that the Book of Mormon is not literal history. But they don't know that it's supposed to be in the learning of the Jews. That's why it's not literal history. That's why there are cows. There are a group that knows that Sidney Rigdon's the major author of the Book of Mormon. But they conclude that it's a fraud, therefore. They don't understand the learning of the Jews. It's the one thing that sets me apart from everyone. And all I did was read 1 Nephi chapter 1, verse 2. And I've done the videos over and over again over these 7 years about my high status in the church. But Mormons want to deny, and critics want to deny. See, critics think that if they can attack a high-ranking, authoritative officer, you know, the members of the 70 who apostatize and are excommunicated, they think that's a big deal. It shatters Mormons' beliefs, and I guess it does. But what you want to find is someone who's an intellectual, who studies, who says the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is indeed the great and abominable church the Book of Mormon prophesies of. But Mormons can't admit that, obviously, and critics can't admit that. Because if they admit that the Book of Mormon prophesied that the church is the great and abominable church, then they have to concede that the Book of Mormon is true as prophecy. And so they won't talk about that issue. Because they won't acknowledge the learning of the Jews. And so what Fisk is doing is causing James and Jasmine to embrace me even further. Because when you tell somebody they have to stay away from something, it's harmful, you know, like porn, people tend to check it out. What's so bad about this? How does woman's looks kill? Cause coronavirus? Or cause blindness? And he's never even watched my YouTube channel, apparently. He just said YouTube videos aren't good investigating. And that the Book of Mormon should give us all the answers we need. Yep, 1 Nephi chapter 1, verse 2. Game, set, match, Fisk. It's real simple. I win every argument against a Mormon. And the only Mormon defense is to mock, deny, ad hominem, abuse, threaten. They cannot use their own scriptures against me. Many have tried, and I just quote back the Book of Mormon to them. And they go silent. I never hear from them again. I told him it does in the learning of the Jews. how awesome James and Jasmine are? Why can't all Mormons be like them? And they're not even Mormon. He really didn't talk a lot about Mormonism. Rather talked to James about music and DJ equipment. Yep. Because that was what in our mission was called building on common beliefs. Our missionary guide taught us how to trick people into joining the church. Let's see if I can remember them. Build on common beliefs. I think I lost it after that. Resolve concerns is in there, in that list. But I think that's last. I don't know if it would be online, simply put. Build relationships of trust, resolve concerns. I think this might be it. Reddit seems to have somebody that's talking about this. Taught to us as missionaries in the missionary guide. Yep, okay. Let's see what they got here. The commitment pattern. That's what they called it. That other site. Teach, invite, follow up, resolve concerns. Build trust, help others feel and recognize the Spirit. Present message, find out. Yep. There's a picture of it. So yeah, that invite. Yeah, too many missionaries jumped the gun on that. It's hilarious. Seriously, web. I don't think this is functioning properly. Oh, there you go. Where have you been? Target in secret, plan attack, destroy target's reputation, dig pit for target, make quick judgments and stick to them at all costs. Make harsh judgments and stick to them at all costs, including at the cost of whatever honor you as a church leader might have had. As the target tries to explain, that is just more signs of apostasy. Ignore target after you dominated them. Don't lift a finger to bring target back. It's funny. Show empathy. I don't see. Okay. Taught to us as missionaries in the missionary guide. Build relationships of trust, listen, find out, resolve concerns, show empathy. But towards members, at the first sign of any disagreement, it's ... Teach, invite, follow up, resolve concerns throughout the process. And so that's what he was doing. He was trying to build relationships of trust with James, because James is the fence sitter in the premortal council of heaven, to get him to trust the mission president. And then when he feels he has accomplished his goal, he will then invite James to pray about it. So that James gets the feeling, I was a fence sitter in the premortal council in heaven, and therefore I need to join the church and begin paying tithing. Oh my God. He did, however, say he was impressed with my knowledge of things Mormon. Really? Because you said the learning of the Jews. See what I had to deal with in this church? See what I'm up against? Oh my God. It's rare to see a face drain of color. Not in this church. Happens all the time. When I gave my defense for Brigham Young altering, adding to, and then releasing Section 132 was somewhat satisfying. No, Jasmine, you are awesome. So awesome, as you put. Yes! Yes, he won't let it go. He also tried to re-explain the fence-sitting thing. Yep, he jumped the gun on thinking he had resolved your concerns. And sure enough, invited you. Oh my God. You called yet another run, right? Born and raised in the Covenant Mormon for 53 years. Oh my God. James wants to thank you because your explanation of it he gave to him. And all of a sudden made him look at his watch. And he had to go home for dinner. Take that, Elder Fisk. Slacker apostate not. Late breaking news. Travis Wayne Goodsell confounds a mission president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Thank you, Jasmine. I'm sorry my lack of education on these subjects makes your videos longer than you want. Jasmine, oh my God. No! You're not lack of education, lack of knowing Mormonism. Like I said, you're providing me with material to do a whole new playlist now. You are awesome. Oh, that was awesome. And so, no, it's not, I have no problems being long in videos. It takes longer to upload and then save on the Movie Maker, and then longer on YouTube to upload and then process, and being attacked by the YouTube employee under orders of the church and blah, blah, blah. But no, I'm, if you go through all my videos, lots and lots of long ones. So this is not a big deal. And we're only at 35 minutes for this video. This is a short one. It's just I'm frustrated with all the pile up that's here, and I'm thinking that I'm going to have to do a video where I just read them off. Oh man. Don't feel bad. You're awesome. However, I do watch every video of yours to the end. So, yeah, send me a picture, Jasmine. Do a picture on one of your videos that you want. James has my email address. Go through James. Send me an email. Send me the picture. It can be an AI if you want.